and welcome back to Acorn Knits. My name's Natalia, I'm a knitter based in Sydney, Australia, and this is just my little nook on the internet where I talk about what I'm knitting, what I would like to knit, and anything fun that falls along the way. So, I realized in the last episode that I spoke about the crochet doily that my great aunt made, but I didn't actually end up showing it, so I'll include that at the end for anyone that's interested. But for now, I'm just going to chat about two cardigans that I've been working on and the progress that I've made on them so far. So the first one is the Ranger by Jared Flood. It's the cardigan I've been making for my boyfriend's father for his birthday. And so I put that one on hold for a little bit to knit a Colorwork sweater, which I'll show afterwards. And then I realized that his birthday is actually coming up quite quickly and I want to give it to him as a gift for his birthday. I had to get back onto that one. So with the progress, that's kind of the progress I've been making. And so I've just been working the raglan stitches up to the collar. And right now I'm in a really rapid decreasing phase. So I'm getting pretty close to being able to start to shape the collar and then do just the ribbing to finish it off. Then once that's done, it's just a matter of doing the button band. I think based on how quickly it is knitting, I don't think there's going to be an issue with having it done in time for early April. But let me tell you, I am very keen to get this off the needles. It's been such a slog, and because it's huge and it's woolly, when I knit on it, it's like having this massive woolen blanket on my lap. And because it's currently summer in the Southern Hemisphere, it's hot and we don't have air conditioning. We live in an old Art Deco apartment. It's pretty hot and it's pretty sticky, and I'm just keen to, well, I'm keen for it to be colder and I'm keen for this to be finished. I'd like to knit something for myself, you know? So far this year, I've only knit for other people, which I love doing, but then I keep lusting at all these projects that I would love to cast on, and I've kind of given myself these self-imposed deadlines of gifting for others because it's based around giving it to them for a birthday present. I want to get those done first before I start casting anything on for myself, but that will be exciting. And knitting for others, I think, especially obviously men who are much bigger than I am, it's such a silly realization, but just to see actually how much yarn and time goes into knitting when the project's so much larger. And it just made me realize for, you know, people who do have bigger bodies, how much more time and more money and everything just goes into making garments. So I think for me, I have certain figures in my head of how much a garment should cost if I want to knit it myself. You know, I would very rarely spend over $100 on yarn, and so it's been a bit of a eye-opener, I think, to just see how different it is when knitting for others. Which I think why baby knits would be quite fun, because, you know, you could have probably one ball of yarn and make an entire outfit for a newborn. I mean, I don't know, but it's just interesting to see the differences. The other thing I'll say is it's definitely making me realize that it's probably for the best I didn't end up doing a heavily cabled cardigan, because the size of this, I think I would have lost my mind if I was doing cables. Oh my gosh, because this is a pretty simple slip stitch pattern. If I had been doing that with cables, with huge cables constantly, oh my gosh, I think I would have gone to an asylum. I don't think I would have come out of it sane. I think this pattern ended up being a really good option for knitting for someone else. So the next project that I've been working on has been the Setesdal sweater that I've been making for my father, and it's coming along. So made a bit of progress since the last time I showed it. And it's really just, you know, plain old stockinette, knitting in the round, obviously with changing colors. So if for anyone who's interested, here are my floats, which actually look quite satisfying, I feel. It's kind of a cool design even. Like, I think you could wear something like that. Maybe if it was like a pearl row? Yeah, if those were pearls, like lines of pearls. I don't know. I think that's a kind of cool design. I don't think I've seen that before. Maybe someone should do that, I don't know. Kind of like a float inspired pattern. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, so nothing to write home about, just ticking along with it. As you can see, there is so much cat fur in it. It just gets knitted in. I don't even try to stop it anymore. I used to try and pick it out, but it's just, it's inevitable. When you have two really white fluffy cats, fur's gonna get everywhere. No matter how hard you lint roll or vacuum, it's an uphill battle. But I think it means that it's handmade with love, and people know who's made it. So I think that's nice. Nothing really crazy to write home about. Very simple pattern. I was almost a little bit intimidated by how simple it was, because when I saw the pattern, it all fit on barely half a page. So it kind of makes me wonder how much of that is going to be assumed knowledge. But I think it's fine. It's just a very simple design. It's really just a kind of rectangular square for the body and then long rectangles for the arms. And they're steeked, I believe, to get to attach the sleeve to the body. So I've never steeked before, so that will be really interesting and a little bit scary. But I think with this wool, it will be a lot easier than if I was doing it on something really silky. I think the Snældan would be the easiest thing to steek because they want to stick to it themselves already. The stitches, they're really grippy. This one is a little bit more silky, so, but with that said, it's still pretty rustic, and it's obviously 100% wool, so you can felt it really easily if you want to like split slice. So I think that would make steeking a lot easier. So aside from those two projects that I've been working on, the Ranger and the Setesdal sweater, I haven't been working on too much else this week. But I did place an order with Martin's Lab, who's a hand dyer from Poland, from Torun. And I'm pretty sure he was married to Justyna Lokowska, but they're divorced now. So I think that's maybe how he got into the knitting business. But I'll show you what I ordered because I think it's pretty interesting. So I ordered just a couple of accessories and some pretty special wool. So I'll start with the accessories. I ordered this little enamel pin that says, "Knitting is l'amazing." It's so dumb, but I love it. I think it's so cute, and yeah, so I just had to get it. I'm such a sucker for silly puns. And then aside from that, I just got this little laser cut needle gauge and something for measuring your swatch. I don't think you really need something like this, but I thought it'd be handy. I do have some needles where their sizing has worn off, or it was laser printed onto it, so I thought having this for reference would be nice. Also just something to measure a swatch, I think. I just want something I can place over it, and I think that's really helpful because when I've tried doing it with just like a regular ruler and holding it in place, I don't know, I always wonder that the stitch, I'm not getting an accurate measurement, so I do like something simple like that. But the most exciting part for me at least is this wool. So I actually haven't opened it yet. It's completely sealed off. So it's undyed natural wool, and it's a 2-ply fingering weight. So this is 100% Zelazna wool, and it's sheared and spun in central Poland, and it comes from a hybrid sheep breed called Owsa Żelazniewska. So I've never heard of this before. What's really interesting about it is it was actually developed at the Warsaw Agricultural University, and it was a crossbreed of what's a now extinct breed called the Lice, and it's been bred with Leicester longwool and Polish merino, which I think is amazing. So cool, just been absolutely smitten with this wool. It also comes in a 1-ply, which I believe is a lace weight, and a 3-ply, which is maybe DK. The 3-ply is out of stock, and I really hope he does get more because this is really special, and I would love this to be shared with more people in the world. It's undyed. I have been toying with the idea of dyeing it. I don't know, maybe it could suit my coloring. What do you think? Maybe. I do love a good insipid color, so who knows, maybe. But that's everything I have to share this week. And then before I leave, I'll show you the crochet doily that my great aunt made. I do have quite a few more of these. They're quite a common gift to give in Poland, at least in my family. So I do have quite a few, but at the moment they're currently in use, and I have decorative pottery all over it. So I can show it if people are interested. It's quite different to this one. This one is really, really soft and quite a thicker wool that it's been made of, or yarn rather, because I'm pretty sure this is cotton for sure. But the other one's much thinner and it's been starched, so it has a real sharpness to it. Whereas obviously, as you can see, this one drapes really easily. But really beautiful handwork. So my great aunt is my grandfather's sister, and she is in her 90s. So she's been doing this for obviously decades and decades, but beautiful, beautiful work. So it always reminds me of these parts kind of pine cones. I don't know if that's what the pattern's meant to be. And obviously you've got these stars with beautiful little flowers in them. And it's probably about 60 centimeters long, I'd say, something like that. And other ones I have are much bigger. She's also made me quite a few pairs of socks and slippers. So if anyone wants to see those, let me know. They're quite cute. I think my family are just worried I can't stay warm. Maybe, I don't know. I just think it's such incredible work because, as I mentioned, she is, you know, she's elderly, she's in her 90s and her eyesight is not at all what it used to be, and she is quite shaky and yet still is able to produce such beautiful, beautiful work. So I really hope I'll be doing the same at her age. So yeah, so that's my little crochet doily. I really treasure it. Things like this are so special and definitely something that stays in the family. And that's everything I really have to share this week. Hopefully next week there'll be a bit more done on the Ranger, maybe starting to get some ribbing done on the collar. I don't know, we'll see. But I think the Setesdal will be with us for quite a few weeks, quite a few months really. I think it's gonna take a while. I do have to have it done by early May if I wanna give it to him as a birthday present. So the clock is slightly ticking on that one. We'll see if I get it done in time. We can start taking bets maybe, see if I actually can do it. But yeah, that's everything for this week. Thanks so much for joining me and I'll speak to you next time. Bye.